Etsko and Armand on the Caring Growth Model, Part 2.
Okay, and in your leadership model, this is the care part of the model, how people care and that they care sincerely. You also apply this care thing to people at the same level. You have a nice distinction between a vertical and horizontal. Talk a bit about the horizontal cut.
It stands to reason that any organization succeeds based on the degree to which that organization produces a surplus. Particularly if you're thinking of a company.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, what a surplus is saying, a surplus is the aggregate measure of the degree to which people have done discretionary things in that organization. In other words, they're doing more than what they're being paid for. They're giving, in a sense, to give away.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that translates into how people treat each other in a peer group. So you can have, if you watch organizations over a period of time, what becomes apparent is that there's this pattern of engagements between individuals at any given point in time, and each one of those points of engagement can really have one of two characters. It can be fundamentally competitive, or it can be fundamentally collaborative. It's fundamentally competitive when both of those people walk into the engagement to get something out of the other person, or to win or come first. It only becomes collaborative when at least one of the people walks into the engagement deliberately to set his colleague up to succeed. So it's that's magnanimity of spirit. I'm not here for myself, I'm here for something bigger than myself. I'm here to help my colleague succeed. If you have that in a group, you've got a powerful group. If you think about a sports team, for instance, if everybody's trying to score the goal, then you fail. Because most of the effort of the team actually goes to setting somebody up to score the goal, not to score the goal themselves.
Yeah.
That's pixie dust, if you like. So you account for the intent, for the success of an organization. If you do this horizontal cut across a peer group, you account for it, so the success of the organization based on the intent of the individual to give or serve. And the more unconditional the intent of the individual is, the more powerful the group becomes.
Okay, all right. And how is this applicable if you thought in terms of hierarchy with a vertical cut?
Okay. Fundamentally, what the Caring Growth Model argues is that in any leadership position, the boss is there for the subordinate and not the other way around. Leaders are there to serve their following. They're the custodians of their following. A lot of if one tries to make sense out of the volume of work that we got from employees who kind of commented on bosses that they trusted and bosses that they kind of would work for because they wanted to, then what becomes apparent is that boss almost behaves like a good parent, because the employee will say will say two things. First of all, this boss of mine has a genuine interest in me. He's approachable, he's kind, he listens, he's trustworthy, and so on. And then he'll also say, but he's not always soft. More than just having this kindness towards me, this care of me. Mm-hmm. He's also, for instance, able to be honest. He's able to be straightforward. He's able to be fair. He's able to empower me, to allow me to do my job. All things that are concerned with the growth of the individual. Now, that job of care and growth is exactly what a parent does for a child. If we ask ourselves, why should these care and growth criteria be so universal? Then we've got to ask ourselves, what's the nature of the relationship we're talking about here? And it's a hierarchical relationship. It's a relationship of power. The first relationship of power that we've had with any other person in our lives is with our parents. And in that relationship, there are two people. There's a parent, there's a big one, and there's a little one. The job of the big one for the little one is very specific. First, the big one cares for the little one, feeds them, provides for them, etc. And then secondly, the big one creates the conditions so the little one can grow. In every instance, it's the parent who's there for the child and not the other way around. So what subordinates require of leaders is to do what power is supposed to do for people, which is to care for them and grow them. And when subordinates see that the leader does that, the leader's intent is to care for them and grow them, the subordinate commits. And that commitment is then can be seen in a sense of loyalty of the subordinate to both the leader and the organization. And that loyalty translates into the subordinate being able to do discretionary things in pursuit of the organization's objectives.